Hello champions. So I'm back with another video. The topic of today's video is going to be money in a seafarer's life. How do they manage money? What are the salaries that they earn? What are the benefits actually that a seafarers get uh, due to the tax benefits? How do they manage money? What are the things that they like spending on? All of these details in this video today. So keep watching. So first of all, let's start with the salaries that the deck cadets, the engineers, and the officers get on board ship. So as far as a fifth engineer is concerned, the salary that a fifth engineer gets depends on various factors. It depends on the company that in which he or she is sailing. It also depends on the type of vessel he is, and there are various companies today which also provide emphasis on training as well. So this also happens that if a company is providing certain amount of money for the training of the cadet, so the salaries are going to be less for that student or for that training marine engineer or the deck cadet. So that is also a case. But in general, the salaries of a TME or a deck cadet is close to $400 to $1,000, and it is generally between this. As far as a fourth engineer is concerned, yeah, one thing I want to tell you guys, as far as TME and training marine engineer is concerned, is that what we know already is that a training marine engineer has to sail only once, and after that he'll be promoted for 6 to 7 months, and after that he'll be promoted as a fourth engineer. But generally it is seen that most of the companies these days, they a student or a training marine engineer has to sail for at least twice, and only after that he is promoted as a fourth engineer. It doesn't matter if you are clearing your class 4 exams. uh, even if you have cleared your class 4 exams, even after that you have to sail one more as a training marine engineer. Only after that you get promoted as a fourth engineer. So all in all, you have to sail at least twice as a trainee marine engineer in most of the companies. Almost 90% of the companies today, you have to sail for 2 times as a trainee marine engineer. So as far as the salary of fourth engineer is concerned, the salary of fourth engineer is close to 1,500 to $2,500, between that, depending on the vessel, depending on the company and all of that. As far as third engineer's salary is concerned, the salary of third engineer is close to $3,000 to $4,500, and yeah, between that, depending on the salary, depending on the tankers, whether it is a tanker, a bulk carrier, LNG, or whichever vessel. As you go into the LNG or chemical tankers, your salary is going to increase. It is going to touch close to $5,000 as a third engineer as well. And as far as second engineer is concerned, or as far as your first chief officer is concerned, your salary is going to be close to 5,000 to 7,500, $8,000, between that, depending on the vessel and depending on the company. Generally, it is seen that ownership companies provide more salary, but it is also seen that ownership companies take more time. It will take time for you to get promoted and to rise to the post of second engineer in a ownership company. So that is also seen. And if you are in a management company, if generally it is seen that the promotions are quicker, so it is going to take less time for you if you are a good and a disciplined marine engineer. So it's going to be easy for you in a management company to promote yourself and come and rise to the post of chief engineer. As far as the salary of chief engineer is concerned, the salary of chief engineer lies between $7,000 to $11,000. An experienced chief engineer, at a LNG carrier may get close to probably close to $11,000, $12,000, but not more than that. The salary of captain and chief engineer is almost probably close to each other. So yeah, that is the case. And you can see that up till the post of third engineer, I won't say you are earning really very much and this high that you can be happy about your salary and you can just chill about the fact that you are a marine engineer and all of that. But that is not the case. You have to work really hard, and the money that we marine engineers earn is really hard earned money. And if you see various videos of the work that we have to do in the engine room, so you'll realize the fact that the money that we earn is really, we deserve that money. So yeah. So yeah, I was also saying the salary of second engineer and chief engineer is the salaries that are actually high, and you can consider them to be high salaries. So yeah, this is about the salaries. This is about the salaries and how much do they earn and all of that. As far as these salaries are concerned that I'm talking about, these salaries are generally provided to the seafarers for 6 months, or for the time they are sailing. If they're sailing for 8 months in a year, so they'll be provided salary for 8 months. And there are companies, you can get into contracts, yearly contracts, so you can uh, get a yearly salary throughout the year, on monthly basis. So that is also one, but that is only in the case of few companies, in which you can work throughout the year. And it can be a 4 month on and 2 month off kind of company, or maybe 3 month on 3 month off kind of companies. I am i uh, know some of my seniors, who are chief engineer or captain right now in chemical tankers, and they are sailing as 3 month. They are sailing, they go on board for 3 months, and then they come back for another 3 months, and that is how they work, and they get salary for entire year. So the fact is that if you're getting salary entire year, the salary is going to be a bit less. And if you're getting a salary for 6 months only, it's going to be higher. These are the minor details that I'm sure you might also be aware of. As far as the taxes are concerned, I'm sure you might have never thought about this, but there is a huge tax benefit that we seafarers get. You might also be aware that when once the salary of employee is more than 10 lakh rupees yearly, then the taxes that he has to pay as an Indian citizen is close to 30 to 35% probably. So if you take an IT professional, or anyone who is working as a professional in any other IT company, software company, or any other company, so he has to pay a tax of almost 30%. So for instance, if someone is earning 20 lakh rupees as a IT professional, so 30% of that is almost close to 6 lakh rupees. So out of 20 lakhs, you'll be getting only 14 lakh as your salary. So that is a huge deduction. But as far as seafarers is concerned, if you have a salary of 20 lakhs as a third engineer, so as a third engineer, so your salary is going to be pretty much the same, and you're going to get it in hand. And as far as IT professionals are concerned, getting a salary, or any other professional is concerned, getting a salary of 20 lakh, you have to be at an age of fairly close to 30 or something like that, if you're not from IITs or any very reputed college, or if you're not actually very skilled. But as far as marine engineers are concerned, marine engineers can get to a salary of 20 lakh, close to 20 lakh, about at the age of 27ish, 27, 28. So that is also one of the benefits. And yeah, one of the factors that a lot of people might not have thought about is that there has been no, as far as salaries are concerned with the seafarers, there has been no salary hikes. The salaries that seafarers get, there is no hike that the seafarers have got in their salaries from about 2008. So their salaries have remained the same from 2008, or from close to 2008 to 2010. So that means actually that we are actually, our salary has remained the same, and due to that, our salary has only increased because of the exchange rate of dollar and rupees. So we are some of the few Indians who at times feel happy if the dollar price rises. When the prices were close to 76 or 77, some of the Indian seafarers would have been happy that their salaries are going to increase because of that, because there is not much hike that has been seen in this decade as such, in the last decade. Now, as far as chief engineers and captains are concerned, generally what has happened in the last years is that generally chief engineers and captains took 8 to 10 years for becoming from rising from a post of TME or a deck cadet, and rise to becoming a chief engineer or a captain. But nowadays, what has happened is, from the last 4 to 5 years, this promotion because of the high number of students who are pursuing merchant navy, and high number of people who are already into merchant navy. Because of all of this, waiting time on ships has increased, and because of that, the entire process of getting promoted and getting promoted to a higher post, all of that has become a bit slower. So because of that, what has happened is, nowadays, for becoming a chief engineer, it takes close to 12 years, 12 to 14 years for becoming a chief engineer from the post of trainee marine engineer. So that is also one of the cases that one should be aware of, because during the time of 2006, 2008, 2014, generally a TME who has started from the age of 21 or 22, by the age of 30, 29, he could get promoted to a post of chief engineer. But nowadays, because of this waiting time, high influx of all of the students and all of the cadets and seafarers into the industry, it takes a bit more time now for getting promoted and all of that. And as far as courses are concerned, people don't discuss it very often, but there are n number of courses that a seafarer has to do before going on board ship. There are certain number of compulsory courses that a seafarer has to do before going on any kind of ship. Apart from that, you might be aware of the class 4 exams, the class 3 exams, class 2 exams, class 1 exams, all of these exams. Sorry, class 3, class 4, class 2 and class 1, these exams. So you have to clear these exams for going on board ship. So these exams also take time as well as money, and you have to invest in these exams. You can give these exams. People take about 2 to 3 attempts for clearing this. Everyone wants to clear it in the first go itself, but generally people take few attempts into this for clearing this exam and all of that. So this should also be, students should be aware that if you're becoming a seafarer, after you clear your TME, you have to give your class 4 exams. And these class 4 exams, it's not necessary that you'll be clearing this exam in the first go itself. You might take 2 or 3 attempts as well. People even take 4 or 5 attempts for clearing this exam. After that, from fourth engineer to third engineer, you become on the basis of experience. But from third engineer to second engineer, you again have to give a class 2 exam that you have to clear. That exam, you also have to give an investment. You have to invest money for doing all the courses and for doing, for giving this exam and doing the preparatory classes and all of that. People have to prepare for it, so they join preparatory classes and they have to give this exam. This exam, clearing this exam also takes time and attempts and various kinds of attempts. And people are not aware of this fact that because of being in this field and because of giving so many exams and courses, you get inherent nature of being curious towards this job and curious towards your lifestyle actually. Because at the age of 30, generally you don't find people, a person who's into a government job, you won't find him studying, or you don't find him being curious towards his job. But when you are in seafarers, you are in this merchant field, one thing that is really good is that you'll always remain curious towards the job. Why? Because you have to give exams, you have to do courses, you have to clear them to promote to a higher level. So this is also one thing that people should be aware. Now, as far as these courses are concerned, a person who is sailing on oil tankers has to do separate number of courses. There are different number of courses that you have to do before working on an oil tanker. Same is the case with chemical tankers as well. Before working on chemical carriers, you have to do a number of courses. Chemical hazard courses, and whatever chemical is on board, which is going to be on board, you have to do courses regarding that. If you're going on an LPG and all of that, you have to do courses regarding that. So you can say in a layman language, or you can consider that if you're going on board and if you're after 6 months you're coming back from on board ship, if you're coming back, then almost 1 month of your being at home, you have to give 1 month to this courses and all of that. It's going to take at least 1 month to cover all those courses, all these pending courses before going on board ship again. So that is also considered. But still, from the 6 months that you get at home, even if you remove 1 month, 5 months of home time is really good for doing all those recreational activities and learning new things and all of that. Whatever you want, if you like traveling, you can go into traveling and all of that. So that is also one of the things that one must be aware of before getting into the seafarer's job. Now, a small good part that is not very important, but people really love, is that being a seafarer, you get these opportunities of going into various ports and going into various countries and buying stuff from those countries. So because of some benefits that you might get in some countries, going in Europe, or maybe going in the Middle Eastern countries, or maybe in UAE or Dubai or anything, any such countries, you're going to get certain tax benefits. So buying certain gadgets, or buying some whatever things that you like, you might get certain tax benefits, or you might get things a bit cheaper. So that is also one of the things. So because of this will also happen that a lot of your friends, a lot of your relatives or family members are going to ask you to bring stuff, ask you to bring a lot of stuff from those countries back home. So that is also one of the things, that is also one of the benefits, that if you're willing to buy an iPhone or something like that, or a drone, or anything, any such thing, or maybe jewelries or whatever. So these things are cheap in foreign countries, in particular foreign countries. So that is also some of the small benefits that you might get. one of the bad things that is going to happen later on in the career, because when you become second engineer of chief engineer, when you become captain, what happens is that there is a certain amount of money that you earn because of your hard work. So what is going to happen when you get this surplus amount of money with you. A lot of money minded people, a lot of actually crooked people are going to come to you for investments and for all of that, or maybe for businesses and all of that, because you have money. The people who have money, other people, other opportunistic people are going to come to you for taking benefit out of you, or maybe some kind of investment or any such thing. But people are going to come to you as far as you have money. So that is also one thing that I've realized, having conversation with various seafarers. I found that all of them say that when you become chief engineer, captain, and when you earn a certain amount of money, people are going to come to you and they're going to try to take advantage of your capital that you have and all of that. So that is also one thing that people you have to consider. Apart from that, one thing that is that has always been that I have seen in the past years, reading articles and talking to seafarers, is that almost 70 to 80% of the seafarers are really bad managers of money. I don't know what is a particular reason behind it, but what I believe is that because there is too much of money that you're earning at the age of 29, 28, 29, about if you're earning 15 lakh 16 lakh rupees and you're getting it in your account, what happens is that you tend to buy lavish items and all of that. You tend to get into financial deals, buy houses and cars and all of that, because you are aware that all of this money is going to come back after 6 months again. So because of this, I've also seen that seafarers waste a lot of money in, or maybe in buying lavish and recreational items. So that is also one of the things that I've seen. So you should be aware, you should remain aware about that as well. And some of the things that a seafarer should be getting into is buy certain amount of insurances, and should be aware of that as well, because when you're getting into a company, you're not sure what kind of insurances and what kind of safety the company is going to provide. And you should also get into investments, because there's nothing like pension that you're going to get or anything like that. So you should also get into basic investments, and getting into mutual funds and all of that, so that mutual funds and a basic investment that you can have, so that you can have a safer retirement. So this is something that I believe all the seafarers should be aware of. And this is all I wanted to say as far as money is concerned, uh, for the seafarers. So that's it for now, and until then, remain legend.